In the NBA Conference Semifinals, the number 1 seed LA Lakers will be facing the 5th seed Houston Rockets. And although the Lakers have way more wins and is a way higher seed, many believe Houston has a legitimate chance to win or make the series close. And today I will be discussing the series and I will drop a prediction for who I think could win. Don't forget to like to show support, subscribe to keep up with my uploads, and comment to start a conversation with me, and play that intro. In a series like this, with many stars and role players, there is many factors, and one of the biggest ones is whether each team can guard the opposing team's 2 stars. The Rockets' 2 stars is James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and the Lakers will likely put Danny Green, KCP, or Alex Caruso on them, and I honestly believe the Lakers have no one to guard them if that's the case. None of the Lakers defenders can even slow down Harden or Russ, and I don't even know if they can keep Harden to perform as his usual self. I can see Harden doing better than he usually does, having a few 40-plus point games. And the Lakers have LeBron, but he can't guard them for the entire course of the game because he's needed on offense. On the other end, the question is whether Houston can guard the Lakers' 2 stars in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And the answer to that question is yes and no, because Houston has 2 defenders that are perfect for LeBron in PJ Tucker and Robert Covington. Those 2 guys will at least make it hard for LeBron at times, but I expect him to be still LeBron. Since Houston went super small, they will put guys like PJ Tucker, Robert Covington, and Jeff Green on Anthony Davis. And I fully expect AD to beast and feast against Houston because those defenders are simply too small to guard him, and that can prove to be detrimental for Houston. Another factor is whether the Lakers role players will hit their open shots that are created by LeBron or not. LeBron will be creating open shots for Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, Markieff Morris, KCP, and Alex Caruso. If those guys can consistently hit shots, the Lakers will simply not lose because them hitting their shots will open the floor up for LeBron and AD. I will question whether Houston can hit their shots or not, but I think for the most part, they will be fine because they have so much shooters, but if they don't hit them, they won't be able to keep up with the Lakers and they will lose the series. Houston's biggest X factor is Eric Gordon, who played well in the first round, so if he continues that momentum into this series, it will help Houston and take pressure off Russ and Harden. For the Lakers, if Kyle Kuzma can be a productive scorer off the bench, it can give them another option on offense. In my opinion, if the Lakers shooters are struggling, they should play J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters more, because players like them have no fear and aren't scared to hit big shots in the playoffs. Anthony Davis's defense will be less impactful in terms of rim protection because all of Houston's players can shoot, meaning Davis won't be able to sit in the paint and contest shots. The solution to that problem is to put AD on Russ and make him sag off him and force him to take jump shots because AD is fast enough to contain him in that small of space and close out on his jump shots. Another question is whether we will see playoff Russ, who over the last 3 playoffs has shot under 40% from the field, or will we get Russ in his last 20 regular season games, who is a legit top 10 NBA player. If Russ plays good, it can help Houston so much. Another question we must ask is whether James Harden will be his usual self or a player who underperforms. The thing with Harden is that when he underperforms, he still puts up a bunch of good points, but he does it on like 35% from the field and has 8 turnovers. For Houston to win, Harden needs to be himself all the time. I will question whether LeBron and Anthony Davis will show up, but I think there's no chance of them underperforming. It's more about the players beside them. A series like this will be very close, and these 2 teams are elite regardless of their record and seedings. Best believe this won't be a normal 1v6 seed matchup. If I had to make a prediction for the series, I would choose the Lakers in 7 games. I know some might be surprised by how long I think the series will be, but I think Houston's switch-heavy defense and crazy shooting can cause problems for the Lakers. But I simply think LeBron and AD will be too good for Houston to win, and LeBron doesn't lose game 7s, so if Houston wants to win the series, they must finish the series in 6 games, which is definitely not happening. I think the Lakers will hit just enough shots to compete with Houston's shooting. I hope this star-studded series is close and lives up to the hype. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Drop below your predictions for this series. Don't forget to like to show support, subscribe to keep up with my uploads, and comment to start a conversation with me. And click these 2 videos up above if you like this one. And I'm out.